Hey, it's Jennifer again from Florida Quilting Center, and this is video 2 in our series of quilting the Heron Quilt. So this is the research planning phase of the quilt. So first, when I start my quilt, I kind of look at the fabric and I see what patterns are in the fabric. So on that one, there's a lot of lotus and the pointillism, which kind of reminds me of the pebbles. And so those are kind of the patterns that I wanted to go with. But I'm not really good enough just to look at a block and say, I want to do this in this block, this in this block. So I have to kind of research. So I like to go to websites like Urban Elements, where they've got a ton of different patterns and I can search by genre or artist or block designs or whatever. So I found this one that does have the Lotus pattern and it's got a couple feathers on there. So this is going to be kind of my jumping off point. So I printed that out, but if you're at home and you don't have a printer, you could always just keep that, pulled up on your tablet or your computer or whatever. So I keep that to look at while I'm sketching. My second step is I go to my sketchbook. Okay, so then I'm just going to sketch out my block. So just super quick sketch. When I'm sketching in my sketchbook, I like to use the Papermate Flare pens. You can use whatever pen you want, not a big deal, but I just feel like these make me better at drawing. So that's what I use, but you could use, a fine tip Sharpie or anything. I just like a fine black line. So that's the next step. After that, I'm going to either go to my copy machine or printer or scanner or whatever, or you can just trace it on a couple pages on your sketchbook, but you're just going to make multiple copies of that blank block because that's going to give you opportunities to just kind of get your ideas out there. Okay, so then once I've got all those blank blocks, which I've already filled these in, obviously, but you're just going to take a pencil and then you're just going to kind of sketch out, your ideas. So this gets me, there's several different purposes for this. So it gets my ideas out there and I can kind of go from and see, ooh, I like this on this, or ooh, I don't like that. But also it starts that muscle memory process of sketching out, which is so important in the quilting. So if I can do pebbles on paper, then I can do pebbles on the machine. Because the machine is just, another form of paper or a canvas. So that's the step. So now that I've got all of these out here, I can kind of lay them out and decide which one I really want to do. So automatically, this one just looks too busy to me. There's a lot of pebbles going on, so it's going to be really dense quilting. It's going to take a lot of thread, and it's going to start getting rid of that texture that I'm going to get with my batting. So this one is out. This one is okay. I'm just not crazy about all the feathers on the outside because there's really no feathers in my fabric. So this one would work, but it's not one of my favorites. So I'm going to get rid of that one. So I think either one of these would work. And I'm kind of drawn to this one. I think this one is okay, but all these kind of straight lines, it's getting a little bit dense. And I think once quilted, it's going to be too dense, and there's really no linear lines in that quilt. So this one is going to be out. So here's the winner. So this one is going to be quilted on there. So that'll be on our next step, which is the quilting part. So video number 3 will be our next installment. So make sure to tune in and join us there.